Okay guys, it's time for another one of these Habs News Updates. And in today's video, believe it or not, yet again, we got a lot of updates to cover here. The Habs had a practice yesterday. Marty St. Louis, spilled the beans on a lot of the injuries that we're going to be talking about today. We got a player that was placed on waivers by the Canadiens. We got some finger-licking good trade talk to go over here. And we also got a special little birthday boy to talk about. But first, before we begin, if you're a fan of the Habs or you can't win a thing at Roll at the Rim to win, I'm a little bitter this morning, then please consider subscribing to my channel as I upload a ton of hockey content and would really enjoy having some more you grasshoppers take along for the roar. Now, let's start this one off by talking about the breaking news we got yesterday, as Cedric Paquette has been placed on waivers. Wow. He hasn't really done, much of anything since joining the Canadiens. I doubt the team is going to take him, and he's on his merry little way down to Laval to add depth to that lineup now. Now, keep in mind, this is a bit of a kick in the nuts to Paquette. He's only 28 years old, and his NHL career is already looking pretty grim at the moment. So let's try and not crap on him too much here. Moving on, let's get the goaltending updates out of the way. Andrew Hammond, or the Hamburglar, whatever you want to call this guy. He's still got a lower body injury, okay? He's not doing too good. He needs to be re-evaluated, and as of now, we got no timeline for his return. But Jake Allen, on the other hand, is getting really, really close to returning. According to the grapevine, he will not be playing tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. But hey, he's got his net back in practice, and we could see him back early this week. That's actually some pretty big news. That would allow the Canadiens to send Primo back down to Laval, or maybe even, trade one of their goaltenders away before the trade deadline. How does that sound? Because not only is Jake Allen close to returning, but Carey Price is also making lots of progress right now as well. They're taking shots on him now at practice. His lateral movement has been looking pretty decent. And former Habs goaltending coach Stefan Waite would chime in and say that he thinks Price is getting fairly close to returning as well. So that's some pretty big news. Keep an eye on this situation, because with both of these goalies getting healthy again, this could mean a trade could happen. I originally didn't think we were going to see Carey Price play a single game this season, but we may get to see him return after all. Now, as for the rest of the team, Jonathan Drouin is back practicing, but there's no estimation on when he's going to return just yet. Christian Dvorak is also practicing with the team now, and get this, he's wearing a limited contact jersey. Now, for those of you that doesn't know what that means, the ankle biters of the team, they're allowed to hit him, okay? But the heavyweights, no, you're not. A low-risk kind of guy like Cole Caulfield, he can line up Dvorak from the other end of the rink and just BAM! Because he's only going to bounce off him anyway. But Dvorak pretty much has a restraining order against a guy like Ben Chiarot. And yes, I just made that all up. What else do we got here? David Savard is continuing his rehab. Nobody really cares. Oh, and here's a big one. Clegg has been placed on injured reserve as well, due to getting hit in the face with a puck yesterday at practice. Wonderful. I always said it takes a special kind of player to block shots with his face at practice. So kudos to him. But in all seriousness, I hope he's okay, because it sounds pretty serious. Yeah. So we did get to see the return of Joel Edmundson last night, but the Habs would confirm that he's not going to play in the game tonight against the Flyers. But don't panic though, because this was already predetermined before he even got back into action. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it was really nice to see him back in the lineup. I think Edmundson, he brings some elements to his game that the Habs sorely missed throughout the season. The guy is a beast. He was hitting. He was making smart plays with the puck, and he didn't look too rusty at all for a guy, that just missed months. And his mates are pumped to have this guy back. In fact, the more and more that I hear about old Edmundson, the more and more I feel like this guy actually has a shot at becoming the next captain of the Montreal Canadiens. And how do you feel about that one? So, with Clegg out long term now and Edmundson not playing against Philly, the Habs did call back up Oscar Maher Corey Schweinman from the AHL. This guy is getting tossed around like a town whore, but hey, he's back again, so let's show him some love. Now, the biggest news of all, light the candles, boys. It's Pizzetta's friggin' birthday. So let's celebrate by taking a look at his goal last night. He actually scored a beauty. He was battling for position. He kicked the puck to his stick. Check that out. And that thing looked like it went in there like it was shot out of a cannon. Okay, if that was one of the biggest stars in the league, the sports analysts would have gone through several pairs of underwear last night just talking about that one. But because it's our boy Piz, it's up to me. You know, you gotta come here to see highlights like that and listen to me go through a couple pairs of underwear showing the highlight. I wonder how much hairspray this guy uses. Anyway, what a beauty. Also, it's worth pointing out that he played a very physical game last night. He looked great. Exactly the way a fourth liner should play. And can somebody get this guy's face on a $3 bill or what? Moving on, as for the trade talk, apparently some big names are dropping out of the market, okay? It doesn't sound like Arizona really feels forced to trade Jacob Citric anymore. There's been rumors that they could hang on to him until the offseason. There's also been news that the Dallas Stars are now hesitant on trading Klingberg, which means, you know, teams are going to be scratching their asses and sniffing their fingers, wondering which defenseman to target now. And one of the only guys they have left to rely on here is Uncle Big Ben Sherratt. This little fish may be getting bigger and bigger every day. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. That does it for this video. As always, let me know your thoughts down in the land down under. Don't forget to harass the like button on the way out of here. And hey, see ya.